on, everybody? I'm your man James, and this is the I Just Think Different podcast. Once again, I am James. This is the I Just Think Different podcast. All right, welcome, 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 welcome. So, how's everybody doing? This is 2021. We're in a new year here, new energies, new place, and thankful to be alive, man. Today I got another guest here. And today we're going to be talking about living a healthier lifestyle, man, because I feel like that's the start of just being a better person is having a clean lifestyle. Now myself, I eat a lot of snacks, a lot of stuff I shouldn't be eating, a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be drinking. But overall, I feel like things are in moderation, and to cut out some things, it's just an even greater sacrifice to try things that are already naturally here, presented here for you, that also offer good health benefits and good positive things that can happen to your body versus eating some of the processed foods out there that do nothing for your body but damage. So I got somebody here with me that's going to talk about, living a healthier lifestyle. And this is Tanisha Reed.
Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing real good, real good. Happy to make it here for a new year.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, so let's get into talking about living a healthier lifestyle. In your words, break down what essentially is a healthier lifestyle and the benefits of having a healthier lifestyle.
A healthy lifestyle is not just what you put in your body. It's basically what you put in your body, on your body, healthy mind, energies, your environment. And in today's world, we are being attacked on every level from, most women before they even wake up in the morning, before they even have a cup of tea or coffee, they put 600 chemicals on their body just from the shampoo to washing your hair to your soap that you're using all over your body to the toothpaste you use to the makeup you put on, you know. And most people don't think about that. It's good to just try to live a clean, chemical free lifestyle because once again we're being attacked on all levels. They're spraying our foods with different things, they're pumping it with different things, and it's more important now than ever than to be aware, to be a label reader, to know what you're looking at when you're reading something, to educate yourself, to do your due diligence. Because once again, we're being attacked on all levels. Just for example, like most shampoos, most conditioners, most, especially as Black women, our hair care products, there's a lot of endocrine disruptors in there. People can't get pregnant, can't stay pregnant. These are all contributors. Your laundry detergent, there's a lot of, once again, endocrine toxins. There's a lot of neurotoxins in those things, and we wonder why we're having so many problems. It's because we're not paying attention to our products and if they're clean or not. We're just buying what's on sale or whatever the case may be. When it literally can cost you pennies to make a lot of this stuff on your own if you once again do your due diligence. So for me, a healthy lifestyle is just a whole body experience. Of course, for me, prayer is a part of that. Having a relationship with God is a part of that, you know? And having that relationship with God opens you up. If you choose to truly follow his word, how to be healthy and clean is all throughout that word, you know? And it goes to the food, meat was not even permitted to eat until after the flood. And then, people eat meat every single day, every meal, and you wonder why your body's shutting down, while you're not even taking a digestive enzyme to try to digest any of those things. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking nutrition. This is all plays a role in being healthy. And I'm here to just pretty much advocate and help bring people awareness to what's really going on because we are being attacked on all levels.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that. I actually take whole enzyme pills myself when I eat. And personally, to say that I can feel a difference, I'd be lying because I don't feel a difference. But I know it's good to have that pill in me to move whatever food I'm intaking around to the necessary parts of my body where it needs to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I also take spirulina pills and moringa pills and lion's mane pills.
Oh yeah. And
So
lion's mane is real good. I give that to my 4-year-old son who he's not diagnosed but ASD. And we just gotta be aware because we were giving everything we need to defend ourselves. We just have to be aware of what to take to do that.
yeah. And how do you say is the best way about going to find out the necessary things that we need in our bodies that can get us through effectively?
The necessary things would be for let's just keep it simple. Start in the kitchen. Everybody gonna eat. Everybody gonna cook. Everybody gonna do something, right?
Right.
So keep it simple. Buy clean organic foods. Once again, if you're gonna eat the meat, buy the organic meat. Try to know your farmer. Go to your local farmers and try to get food from there where you can see how your animals that you're consuming is being raised. You know, once again, organic foods. Try to, I'm encouraging everybody, especially now, learn how to garden. Learn how to organically grow your own food. I don't care if you're in an apartment. You can do it on your patio. You know, so it's just really important to just, for me, starting in the kitchen is number one because everybody can't always go and afford these different herbs or whatever oils, essential oils, to sustain them. But everyone is going to eat, and you can make better decisions just at the grocery store and not buying processed foods. Don't allow your kids to eat chicken nuggets every day. Don't allow them to eat the French fries. Buy the whole potato, organic potato, cut it up and bake it yourself. Keep it simple. You don't got to go and break the bank. You can just keep it simple and just start in the kitchen.
Along with some of those things in the kitchen, you mentioned meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say organic meat versus non-organic meat. What's the difference in the hormones being in the meat versus not being in the meat or just not even eating meat at all? Because if I'm eating meat with steroids and processed stuff on it versus eating meat that is 100% clean, that this cow or whatever has been eating
Mm-hmm.
grass all its life, what makes it any difference if meat is still meat?
I'm just trying to get people healthier options. The difference would be, if you organic versus non-organic, meaning we really don't know. We just hoping for the best because they can stamp organic on there. Ain't no guarantee.
Right.
Um, so it would be basically in how it's broken down and how it's digested. If that cow or that chicken was given all these antibiotics and different things, guess what? When you eat that cow or that chicken, now you're consuming that. Now your body is trying to fight off those, your cells are being attacked, basically. And if you're not taking anything to help push those things out of your body, guess what that's doing to your body? It's just sitting there. And that's when all those nice free radicals begin to take over those cells. And then here you go with a nice diagnosis of carcinoma or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
So I'm not going to say that there's a difference between eating organic and there is, but it isn't because once again, you don't know. For me, I just leave the meat out. I don't eat it. We're vegan/vegetarian. So for me, it's not worth it, especially now with everything going on with the farmers and agriculture. For me, it's safer to just leave it out. I don't eat meat personally. But, for those that do, it's a lifestyle change. You have to retrain your taste buds. So if you're going to eat it, just try to do better with how you're eating it. You know what I'm saying? You're taking a risk because you don't want to really know if it's organic or not unless you are knowing your butcher, unless you're going to the country or wherever the case is and you know the actual farmer that sell you a half a cow, or you can go walk the land and check the feed and see if the cow, because mad cow disease, for example, for a beef is real. How is the animal being raised? Is the animal happy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you can buy local, I would say go local all the way. But if you can't, I guess for a peace of mind, I would just say go organic, But once again, you can't prove that.
Right. What can you say about living a non meat lifestyle? What can you say about being a vegan and a vegetarian that's helped you that you can physically see as well as mentally?
Well, there's a lot more mental clarity. I'm not sluggish. I'm not fatigued. Sometimes you just get into this fog or this depression, and you don't, it's like, why? I've been there. I wasn't always vegan, vegetarian, and a lot of the time is what you're consuming. Um, you know, just not, waking up at 3 in the morning, just because your digestive system is not working right. You're not doing anything for your digestive tract. Just eating a whole bunch of meat, no vegetables, nothing, just not doing anything. It's just, I know I feel different. Like I said, mental clarity, I can think better. I have way more energy. And I have, I would say I have sea moss to thank for that. Like, it's just so many things that we can do. Different herbal teas I drink. I drink a lot of red clover tea. I drink a lot of candula, different lavender teas. It's dandelion root tea. It's so many things you can do to clean your body out. The energy levels, you will definitely notice a change in your energy and your mental clarity for sure.
Would you suggest the alkali lifestyle or just
Well, we all
less
should
meat?
be alkaline. I would suggest the alkaline lifestyle just because, disease can't live in an alkaline state. So
Yeah.
if you go ahead and decide that that's the way you're going to go, you're going to notice a difference in every aspect of your body. Just from, you might drop a couple sizes, or you just might maintain a healthy weight. Once again, your irritability will be gone. You won't be snapping at folks. You won't just be tired all the time and don't know why. You'll be able to think straight. You begin to see, dang, I can remember a lot more than I used to. I don't got to write everything down,
Right.
so you just begin to see those effects in the body take place, and it's life changing. For example, my son, who is ASD, I'm not going to get into what I believe about that because that's not what the show is about. That's a whole different topic. But that is what really made us go vegan. Um, was because he can't handle a lot of the dairy and different things because his digestive system was jacked up. He had brain fog. He couldn't focus. He couldn't look at you. He didn't even know when you was calling his name. That started for us in the kitchen. I changed up everything we ate. I got him on different like mother's wort just to help him to calm down, to get that fog out of his mind. Lion's mane to help that neurological tract. I got him taking different things for his digestive system, like a digestive enzyme. I have him on. I give him bitters that I make. I give it's just so many different things that we can do to correct the gut and brain issue that autism brings. And it's through the herbs that I've done that, and it's through the kitchen that I've been able to do that through God's grace. And you just don't get that when you go to most places. They're going to try to give you Ritalin. They're going to try to, you know what I mean? They're going to give you all these different medicines that's not going to help anything. It's going to put a band-aid on something.
Now, how long have you say your son has been diagnosed?
He's not even diagnosed. I just noticed about two. He never developed language, right? He just, he didn't focus, wasn't responding to his name, and me being me, I'm doing all this research, and I'm like, okay, something ain't right, something wrong, and I had him in all these different therapies, and nothing was helping. It took me to do research to find out how to help him myself, and to get him involved with an ABA program that actually from home that actually works for him, that I implement, and I get help through the counselors, and like all the dietary nutritional needs, I kind of figured that out for myself. But there's a lot of different groups that you can, join or get on to help you along the way. A naturopath doctor would be able to help you. It's just so many different ways to do things with these plants. But I do recommend, plant power and essential oils for those kind of things because they made all the difference with a vegan diet for him.
You say so he was 2. How old is he now?
He's 4.
So this 2 year journey that he's been on, what's the most significant change that you've seen in this 2 year journey that you've implemented in his life that you can actually say that it was because of the herbs?
His focus, you can call his name now. He'll turn around and look at you. You can, he knows what he wants. He'll go and he'll get his cup, his juice, and he'll bring it to you. Before it was just a lot of, pulling on you and just, he was trying to get the words out, but just couldn't. Now he's singing, he loves music therapy. He's
Wow.
responding. He he knows what he wants. He goes and get it. We're potty training now. He understands. His understanding, his mind is just opening up, and it's all because of the different herbs and the foods that we do avoid. And once
Yeah.
again, the chemicals. I'm not using Johnson and Johnson on my kids. I'm not using Dial soap and all these regular things on my kids. We use Castile soaps. I use just oils with almond oil with essential oils in it, cedar wood, lavender, vetiver, valerian, CBD oil to calm him down when he gets. He's a boy though. Boys are very hyper anyway. So some of that is just him being a boy. But these are the kind of things that I use that calm him down. And this is all plant power. So just from that, I'm able to now sit in church without having to be like, I got to run out. He being too loud. We're
Mm-hmm.
now able to go to the grocery store and he just sit in the cart and chill and not, clown and trying to climb out. He's calm. He's calmer.
Yeah. What can you tell me about burdock root?
Burdock root is good for your endocrine system. Actually, it's good for your blood. Um, it regulates. It's a cleanser. It's a purifier. It's a detoxer. So if you want to cleanse your endocrine system, that's a good herb to use. Is burdock root.
Should I use it by itself or is best used mixed with something?
You can use it by itself. You can use it in a tea. It's just however you want. It's so many ways to use these herbs. No one way. It's like, for example, I use burdock roots in a salve I make to heal your cuts and wounds.
Mm.
So these oils, there's just no one way. There's multiple ways to use them. Like I said, it's good for your endocrine system. It's cleansing your blood. But I also put it in my salve to heal a cut and wound. So
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to use these herbs that there is no one right way to use, these different herbs. For the most part, they're used for multiple different things.
Yeah. What about the elderberry?
Elderberry is good for the cold and flu season. It's a good, it heightens the immune system. And when you pair it with different herbs, you're giving your immune system a really good boost. When you pair it with like Mulan, which is good for your respiratory tract. When you pair it with soursop, it's good for your respiratory tract and for anti-carcinogenic effects, which is cancer on your cells. So pairing these different things with different herbs is it's unstoppable for your body. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We really are. And on
What?
days, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What's the best herb combination?
It ain't no best. Like once again, you just have to get in there or get with somebody that know what they're doing, and you just figure out what herbs work for you because some things are not good paired with each other, and some things are good paired with each other.
Mm.
But for example, you have tons of different herbalists that will make something and make it the same way, but you get the same effect. But that's just the beauty of these herbs, the beauty of these trees and these plants.
Yeah. What's something a tincture that you're making up?
A tincture that I'm making up currently is I have a lot of people talking about they got migraines. So I'm looking into making something for migraines. And also, for myself, I suffer from anxiety. I'll get very anxious and I get very, I got to get this done. I got to do this. So I'm making something for like anxiety. And in that, I'm just going to simply use different herbs like mother's wort, that's good for women's issues. That's something that you can use for that, but it's also good for anxiety. See how you can just flip flop what these things are good for.
Yeah.
So there's no like one correct answer for herbs. You just whatever, depending on what you're trying to do. And so for my tincture that I'm going to do for my anxiety, I'm going to use yarrow. I'm going to use mother's wort, and I probably just use those two because for me, that's good enough. Because they'll both tend to me being anxious, and it'll help give me that calming effect that I need to calm down, to not, to be able to think straight so that I'm not, overthinking things. Because I have a tendency to overthink things.
Now, earlier when I mentioned the alkaline lifestyle, you said most of us should be on that. What's so special about the alkaline lifestyle that, you know, people can say it's good enough to be on, but it's that hard to be on? Like if we know something is that good, then why aren't we using that?
We have to retrain our taste buds. Most of us grew up on eating meat. Most of us grew up not even really eating raw foods. In the alkaline diet is a lot of raw foods, a lot of juicing. And you want it's I think it's like mind over matter kind of an issue. Most people don't want to do right till they have to, and then when everything's okay, they go back to the old habits. So for the alkaline diet, once again, like I said before, a disease can't live in an alkaline state
Why is that?
because there is no your body, basically your cells are equipped to fight off those free radicals that's trying to break into that cell, into that nucleus, to rewrite your DNA. That's pretty much what disease does. It breaks into the cell and it's rewriting your DNA. It's changing the DNA within that particular body system. That's why, cancer is running rampant. Basically, those particular cancer cells have started to grow. And since our bodies we're not boosting our immune systems to fight off these diseases. Like, for example, somebody on chemotherapy or that has done chemo should be taking milk thistle, which is something that helps to repair the cells. But you don't see that happening really. Most people just do chemo and there's nothing helping them to fight the chemicals being put into their body. So now they're going to have a problem later.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's went through chemo, astragalus root, milk thistle, astragalus root, milk thistle tincture will help you to repair those cells. So it will help give your body what it needs while you're going through chemo to not have so much cell damage from the chemicals being put into your body. Because chemicals are not smart. They don't know to just go to attack the problem. Their attack, it's going to have an effect on everything.
So,
So
so these tinctures, what exactly is a tincture?
a tincture is usually made of different herbs, right? And you're going to have it's different ways to do it, but most herbalists are going to use some kind of alcohol, whether it's some kind of 80 proof alcohol. And you're going to take these different herbs and you're going to soak them for at least 4 to 6 weeks in a container, and you're going to let them sit. The alcohol itself draws out the medicinal effects of the herb. And after the 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to drain out the herb, and then you have your tincture.
Mm. So you can use alcohol naturally by fermentation or something, and they do it that way, or they just buy some, absolute or something and run with that.
You can just buy some absolute, and you can go, as long as it's 80 proof, and run with that. You can use vegetable glycerin. You don't have to use alcohol. It just depends on. You have decoctions, you have tinctures, you have elixirs. It just depends on what you're making. Like, for example, elderberry. You can do an elderberry tincture with alcohol, but for the most part, most herbalists will just do like an elderberry deconcoction, which is just when you take the herbs and you're soaking them on top of the stove for a certain amount of time.
Now, what's the different values of taking the tinctures these different type of ways?
The value is basically you're getting the medicinal effect of the herb, and sometimes it's just as simple as most medicine that most Chinese medicine is medicinal herbs. Sometimes it's just a matter of making you a tea. It just depends on the herb that you're using. Some herbs you're going to get the most out of the medicinal effect if you just make a tea. Other herbs, you're going to get more out of it if you do a tincture, meaning soaking it in the alcohol. It just depends on your end game, what your goal is and what you're trying to do, what you're
So ain't
trying
no
to.
right or wrong way or good or
Nope,
best way to do it.
nope.
It's just basically trial and error,
If
or
you're
not
getting
so much
started,
trial and error,
not so
but
much trial and error. It's just as if you're, for example, if you're trying to. It just depends on what you're trying to, what you're trying to support, what you're trying to treat/help. Sometimes a tea is better. Sometimes a tincture is better. Sometimes topical in a salve is better. You get my point? It just depends on
yeah.
what you have going on.
Now, what do you say or suggest for someone with thyroid issues?
Oh, that's running big too. Thyroid issues. Once again, that goes back to your endocrine system. It goes back to that detergent you're using, that deodorant you put under your arms, right? These are
Why are those
all,
things
when you
harmful?
use chemical filled products, you're blocking the ducts, your lymphs. Let me say this, your endocrine system is protected by your lymphatic system, right? So if you go using deodorant that's filled with petrochemicals, endocrine inhibitors, now you just blocked. Yeah. That's why, in my opinion, that's why thyroidism is so high, because people are not looking at the products they're using, right? So you go and use that deodorant, you spraying that perfume all on your neck and stuff, and now you've blocked your lymphatic ducts, and they can't drain out all that nastiness. They can't drain out the toxins that you just put in. So now, then you go and you put on your clothes, which you washed and tied, and it got all those endocrine inhibitors in it. Now you have further blocks your lymphatic system, which supports your endocrine system. Like, the body works as a whole. So that's what I mean by we're being attacked on so many different levels. You have to understand that it's a cause and effect chain reaction with our bodies. So if you're going to just say, I have cancer and I'm just going to eat healthy, but yet I have skin cancer and I'm just going to eat healthy, but yet you still using all the bad products with all the toxins and chemicals in it, what good are you're not really fully helping yourself to the best of your ability. You need to be aware.
Yeah, it's like detoxing your body, but still eating bad.
Exactly. It's like, what are you doing? Like, okay, I don't know what you're really doing, but it's an oxymoron, really.
So when you detoxing your body, what do you want to look to detox? What is a detox essentially? What is a real detox?
A real detox is when you're flushing, right? You're flushing out all the free radicals, you're flushing out all the chemicals, all the processes that, have in your body that has basically your body will start to attack itself, really. Like, for example, when you're detoxing, most people, oh, I got acne. Well, no, you don't have acne. You have gut problems. Something's going on in your digestive system. You have some gut issues. So you want to get all of that out. You want to go for a full body detox. People, like you said, they detox and they eat bad. You can't say you're detoxing and still be eating burgers and fries. If you want a full body detox, let's fast. Intermittent fasting is very important. Fasting cleanses the blood itself before you even drink the burdock root tea or the tincture or whatever. If you just take the time to have some kind of temperance to yourself. Say, okay, I'm a detox. I'm a juice these next 3 days. I'm gonna go on a raw foods diet this next 3 days, and I'm a juice and I'm a detox. Now that's what I call a full body detox, or real detox.
Now, why is that important to go on a quick little fast like that? Is it because of a mental thing, a spiritual thing, or just because I can show myself that I can stay dedicated for 3 days to do something?
You know what? It depends on your personality and what you believe, because it could be all of the above. It could be one of them. You know what I mean? It just depends on the person. What's your goal? What's your end game? For me, it's more of I'm trying to grow closer to my God. And some things are not removed but through fasting and praying. You know, and on top of that, I want to open my mind to really, hear what it is that he wants me to hear. So in order to do that, I don't want to defile my temple by filling it with junk. The processed foods. We all like sugar. We all like the snacks and everything. Like you said, you got a real snacking issue. I'm not saying cut everything out cold turkey. Treat yourself every so often. Don't overindulge. Moderation is key. You know, if you're gonna go on a detox, do it for real. And then, that weekend, if you feel like I'm gonna treat myself to an Oreo, have your Oreo. You don't want to go crazy trying to cut yourself off of everything at, full blown, full circle. That takes time. It's a process.
Yeah. So living a healthier lifestyle is getting rid of all the trash and junk that we have. But how do you get someone like a child into a healthier lifestyle without giving them the trash that we were already given? Like, how is it easier to train a newer person, a child,
Oh,
into a
absolutely.
healthier lifestyle versus training someone who's already been through eating in a terrible lifestyle and to try to flip that around? Which is more easier, would you say?
I would absolutely 100% say I'm pretty sure it's easier to train a child, something that came from your womb day one, and you decided this is your lifestyle, because they're only going to get what you give them. So if you've never, like, for instance, my 4-year old has never eaten meat. He don't even, if you try to give him a piece of meat, he don't even like the texture of it. So it's easier to train a child than to, with the saying, to teach a dog new tricks. When we get older and we're stuck in our ways, it's harder. It's hard to unlearn your appetite. That's one of the hardest things to conquer is appetite.
And why you think that is? Why you think it's so hard of a sacrifice to actually just let go of, your ego for a little bit, just to actually walk in that change that, we all claim that we want. We all say that we want that change, but what real true sacrifice are we really able to give ourselves to put ourselves in that position to be prosperous?
Well, it's a choice. Like everything else, it's a choice. You got to start out with a choice. Either you're gonna do it or you ain't. Um, and like I
Yeah.
said, it's much easier for most people when they get that bad diagnosis. But it's like if you could have just, decided to do that way before now, you wouldn't even be in that position. It's a choice.
When it's coming to things like cirrhosis of the liver and
Mm.
kidney issues, and like I said, thyroids and stuff like that, what are some of the different foods that you can eat or herbs that you can take to immediately kind of clear up some of that blockage and situations that may be going on?
For liver, like I said, that's all a part of the endocrine system. Like your thyroid, your liver, that's all a part of the same body system. Um, as far as the herbs go, you can use alfalfa root, you can use borage, you can use dandelion, you can use ginseng, just to name a few. Yellow duck. It's the list goes on. There's so many herbs that you can use for these different, for that particular body system. But like I said, burdock is good for your endocrine and your lymphatic. A lot of these different herbs that I name are good for both endocrine and lymph. It's not just one or the other. Garlic, everybody, I love garlic. Most people, turmeric. You want anti-inflammatory things. Um, it's so many things you can use. You just have to, like I said, do your research and decide, which one, which combination you feel like is going to work better for you, because everybody is different and they might not like the taste. Sometimes taste plays a role. So you just have to, out of the list of things that's available to help that particular system, pick a combination that works best for you, um, or the combination that works best for your situation. Sometimes you just have to get over the taste and do what you got to do.
Yeah, but when you're hearing some things like this and people telling you to go do your research and you got to look it up, and you start to do all these research and you see these different type of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing all these new names and things. Sometimes it may be hard to pronounce. So you're looking at them and you're finding out some of the things they do and don't do, and then you're looking at the pills, and then you see 20 different people selling the same pills. It's like, how do I know if
Right.
Tylenol is even real Tylenol versus just aspirin or
Generic brand. Mm-mm.
ibuprofen or something like that? You know what I mean? So, what's to say what's the real herb and not the real herb? Like, is that herb really supposed to do what it says? If I take dandelion root right now and drink it, what effect am I supposed to be feeling over a 30-day period if I'm taking it every day? And if I don't feel that, is there something wrong with me, or did I take the wrong herb?
Um, for like dandelion root is more of a detox, so I don't know that you would feel it, but maybe might pee a little more because you put peeing out the toxins.
Okay.
But I personally buy organic herbs. Um, I'm a researcher, right? So I'm gonna research your company before I buy anything from you. That's just how I roll. Um, I have an aunt, for example, who been in the herb game longer than me. She travels the country. Honestly, she puts me up on a lot of different herb stores around the country. I can't say that everybody's going to have that opportunity, but my advice to those that, just want to begin to, take this journey to, figure out plants over pills, do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just take nobody's word for anything. Look it up on your own. Um, do a thorough research on what you finna buy before you buy it. Look up the company, who own the company, who is supplying the company. These are just simple Google searches.
Yeah.
So,
Very important things.
so I
But
say get
again,
to know get to know who you're spending your money with.
knowing all these things and hearing all these different names fit with these different companies and people, you can look at Coca-Cola and look at Pepsi and see they're similar, but obviously they're two different taste buds in there. So one beverage may have one element outside of the other, but who's to say who's better or not? So that same thing can go into herbs and stuff. If I'm looking at elderberry, elderberry might be mixed with some burdock root, and then this burdock root might be mixed with spirulina. So which
Right.
combination is the best? And I'm reading them, and somebody just told me about burdock root, but now I'm seeing burdock root mixed with everything. So it's like confusing of where am I supposed to go and who's supposed to tell me, what am I actually supposed to take? So can you overtake herbs? Is there
Oh,
too many?
absolutely. Some herbs you have to totally be careful with. Some herbs, are not even for children. Um, like for instance, all it's sad, but most people work in it's a whole fad, the trend, what's trendy, right? So everybody was all into black seed oil, right? Black seed oil is not something that you take the whole year. You need to do a couple weeks, get off of it, go back to it. Or it's a herb guaco, right? It's a bronchodilator, right, for the lungs.
Yeah.
You want to you can use that one piece of herb, right, multiple times. But that herb particularly, you only want to be on that herb for about 3 weeks, and then you're going to stop. Give yourself a week or two off, then you can go back to it. Some herbs you have to approach it that way. So I'm not saying everything I'm naming, this is just not for people to just say, I'm about to go get me some milk thistle. No, get with somebody that actually know about the herb, because some of these herbs can be dangerous. It can cause an issue in your body. Like it can literally break down the liver, which is a cleanser, because you're overdoing it. So you do need to be careful when you do need to get with somebody. If you're not willing to do your own due diligence, you do need to get with somebody who knows what they're doing with the herbs. Because something as simple as dandelion root, okay, you're not going to overdo that. It's a tea that you can buy at, your whole food store. So, but there are other herbs that you should not be, using like that. Like example, your mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, which is very good for detoxing and building up the immune system. Shiitake, saga mushrooms, chaga mushrooms. They use these things in treatment of HIV and different diseases, because it helps to rebuild the cells in the body. So when you get to dealing with certain kind of herbs, any kind of herb, really make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know what you're using and why you're using it, and how long, if you should continue to use it daily. Something like turmeric, take that every day. That's not gonna do nothing to you. But like I said, something like guaco, you're not gonna do that every single day, 365 days a year. So you do need to have that insight.
Isn't turmeric a little bit more powerful when you add pepper to it?
Yep. Turmeric, black pepper, and honey is like I said, I'm not a clinician, I'm not diagnosing, I'm just telling you about what I know about herbs. Honey, turmeric, and black pepper together is
Like
high.
golden milk.
Golden milk is high. It's an antibiotic. So take do with that what you will. But instead of maybe saying, hey, I'm gonna go and run to and get a prescription for my infection, maybe you can just make some golden milk. It just depends on how you decide to treat, how you decide to treat your own body.
Yeah. Now, obviously, these plants and herbs been around for years because obviously that's the stuff that they breaking down and putting over the counter. But now a herbalist will tell you what you actually buying from behind the counter, and you cut out all the pharmaceutical stuff, right?
Yes, when you buy
So
what
if
you
you
buying over the counter, you done got some stuff added to it.
right, so if you taking things in its truest form, it should heal you.
Amen. It
Like
should. It should definitely support whatever you're trying to help.
yeah,
And I
like the
don't.
hemp plant
Oh yeah, yep.
does a lot.
It does so much, and that's why it was a big thing about legalization, and not because you can't tax it. You can't tax plants. You can't. You can't. What is it? Patent plants, right? So hemp does so much. I don't get me. Hemp is wonderful. You can make some tissue, some clothes. You can do everything with hemp.
I see they got the lotions and the oils
Yes,
for it.
the CBD oils is wonderful. I use
Yeah,
that on
so what's
myself.
so much difference between CBD and a marijuana plant?
It's a
Or
cannabinoid. You're not, certain properties of the plant is not active in the CBD. Like the THC is not going to be an active component of your CBD. You know, I'm not sure how it gets extracted and how, I'm not a chemist, but it's the cannabinoid factor that's not, that THC factor is not activated. It's just the cannabinoid of the hemp. I've seen and witnessed testimonials of people juicing certain strands, and guess what that does? That will heal those cells
mm,
from those free radicals, from that big C word. So hemp does a lot. You CBD oil, juicing certain strands. It does so much. Like I said, clothes, shoot, whatever you need. Hemp lotion. It's so much you can do with hemp.
yeah. Why is it so hard to get information from uh plant life and herbalists? uh it seems like sometimes it's so much power into the herbs and the plants. It almost seems like if some things are spoken on, like somebody will be knocking at your door, you know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
they regulate. That's
And
why I said I'm not a clinician. Oh, they regulate. Oh, I'm a big essential oil person, right? And we do classes and different things on essential oils. We're not allowed to say that it will heal anything. We're not, even if we know from experience that it has helped us personally or our children. We can't say that because the FDA.
yeah.
So you have to be very, strategically plan out your words because they will find you. They will come for you.
Mm.
So big pharma, big pharma. Ain't no money in that.
It's always that big F in the front
Mm-hmm.
that get you caught up.
That gets you caught up. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But it's the big GOD
That's
that
right. He
got
in
me tight.
charge.
You know
That
what I'm
guy,
saying?
exactly. And everything that we needed to combat this chemical warfare that they putting against us, he gave it to us on day 3. Gave it to us on day 3. That rainforest, man. Yeah, you can't convince me that ain't the rainforest ain't got everything you need to heal everything that we got going on out here.
Yeah. There's so much stuff in there you don't even know, you know, what it start, what it look. I mean, there's so many plants out there. How do you even know what plant does what? And how much time have you dealt
You
with one plant to figure out all the different type of ways
eh,
that it can fix you versus the combinations you can put it with another plant versus this plant that's only alive for 2 days and it
right.
only comes once every 10 years and all this other stuff. Like who
I
figures and
mean,
knows all this stuff? You know
you
what I
got
mean?
some real, you got I'm in Michigan, obviously, it's cold right now, but you got people that forage. I'm going to get into foraging, just going out in nature, and you got to know what you're looking at. But there's different apps now too that you can take a picture and it'll tell you what the plant is. And then it's nothing like hands-on experience. If you don't have a family or somebody who wants to get into herbs, I say travel. I say get in there. Nothing like hands-on experience to get with these different school of herbs, or we got to get back to what our grandparents did when they were sick too. They used the herbs.
All right.
You know, they would put the lemon peels in the water and the onion and sleep with the onion in their sock and different things like that. Onions draw out a lot of toxins. Put an onion in your sock. Wake up in the morning, your bed gonna stink, but that onion gonna be blue, black, and purple. So we got to get back to those things. Just the simple remedies. We don't got to be all extravagant going into the woods and trying to figure out what this and that is. We ain't got to do all of that. I mean, if you into that and you're able, go for it. But it's simple things that's in your kitchen that will get you to get, like I said, an onion will detox you. An onion in your sock. Cut an onion in half and put it in your sock and sleep that way. That will pull out toxins out of your body. So we have to get back to those simple remedies.
What type of toxins does that pull out, and how beneficial is that for me? Like you know, yeah, explain that a little bit.
You
Like
have you have flex points in your hands, all your that go all to your organs, right? In your hand and in your foot, right?
right.
So where you put that onion at, you're detoxing those organs, right? You're detoxing those organs, because you have Vita flex points, like I said, on your hands and in your feet. That these are massage therapy techniques. If you um put, like I said, that onion there is going to detox those organs in your body. It's going to detox everything because everything is connected to your feet
Mm.
and your hands. So, yep.
So if I'm taking a detox pill, or detox tea or
Mm-hmm.
tincture, and it's a detoxing one. And I also sleep with the onion in my sock. Ain't that like a super detox thing that I'm doing here? I'm really pulling out all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's in my body.
Yes, and then
So
don't forget to drink your water. Water itself detoxes you. Drop a little lemon in your water and peppermint. That's a detox drink. I'm talking essential oils here, and I'm not just talking any essential oils. You want therapeutic grade oils because just like they put chemicals in our food and everything else, some of these essential oil companies, there's adulterants in the oils. You're not getting therapeutic grade oils. Okay. So you need to be aware of that too. Don't just go to Walmart and thinking that you can just get that oil and ingest it. I don't recommend that. Make sure it's therapeutic grade oils. But you know, you can do all of that and make your tea in the morning and drop you some lemon and some lime or whatever you like in your tea. There's an oil called Thieves, which is cinnamon, lemon, rosemary, all these, and these are all oils is nothing more than an extraction of the plant, right? So if you don't feel like making that, whatever that morning, you don't want to do a tennis shirt, just drop them oils in your drink. You're gonna get all them same benefits. For example, any citrus oil is good for your digestion and it's also anti-cancerous, right? So that orange oil, it takes what the orange oil itself is extracted from the peel of the orange, right? So it takes about 75 oils just to get 70 oranges or lemons just to get a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil. That particular essential oil will detox you. Just drop it in your water and then it makes your water taste good. Now you don't need Crystal Light, healthier option. When you know
yeah,
better, you do better.
right. So all those are good, healthy tips.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ways that we can go about, you know, being consistent with those tips? What type of you know, eating plans should we be on? Because we always hear all this health stuff and everybody always got the pills and the herbs and telling you this pill and that pill, but you know, it does start in the kitchen, like you said. And you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned a lot of stuff that you whipped up, but what is something in a good meal plan start that someone can use, or maybe we could even issue a challenge and start a challenge here. This is 2021.
Right, let's get it
Start a,
going.
yeah, let's start a challenge with
You
a
can
health
do
challenge over
it
here.
just depends on, what are you looking to do? Do you want to try like you
We
want to just
looking to be
total
healthy. We
you want
ain't
a
looking to
total
be
you want a
nasty no more.
total right, you want a total detox, do a 3-day juice and raw food challenge. You want to just say, you know what, I'm gonna do meatless Mondays. I'm gonna take meat out of my diet for one day. And just build from there. Some alternatives to meat. For example, now I don't know, I'm a nut, I like nuts. So you can make meat out of walnuts. You can make meat out of pecans. You can, there's so many different healthy options. Once you learn about herbs, you learn how to season because guess what? All that stuff is seasoned with herbs. You know what I'm saying? So, like fennel, that if you like sweet, you want to use a little fennel seed or a little fennel oil, whatever you want to use. Basil. Not only does basil, we who don't like basil on their pizza or whatever, but basil is a pain killer. So you can make you some basil tea if you aching with pains instead of popping whatever you're gonna pop. You just have to learn the aspects of what it is that you're using and all that it can do for you.
Mm,
But as far as the kitchen go, it's so much out here. Pinterest, you can go find you a vegan. You can go right to Pinterest and put in vegan recipes, and it's gonna give you a boatload of recipes. There's an app called Yumly. Yumly. You can put in there you vegan or vegetarian. It's gonna give you a boatload of options. You can just simply Google. You
yeah,
know, there's so many different trends on TikTok and IG that a lot of people going vegan now. So, you just can figure out like we like soul food, right? That don't mean you got to cut out your soul food. That just means you change how you make it. You know, you can still eat your greens. You can still eat your mac and cheese. You can still eat your dressing. You just making it just a little different. You leaving out the egg. You leaving out you don't need to put turkey or ham in your greens.
is pasta really good for me though? Should I really be eating pasta though?
You know, people would tell you don't eat pasta, but we need carbohydrates, people. We need carbohydrates. Now, you don't gotta go buy the cheapest pasta you can find. You can get
Why does it matter?
lentils. You can get
What?
lentils pasta. It matters the price because a lot of that stuff be plastic you consuming. You're not getting real food.
Mm. So, what's the best way to ensure that I'm getting real pasta? Me hand making it?
No, no, I ain't gonna say you gotta do all that. Buy organic. Like go to your Whole Food stores. For example, most kids like noodles, right?
Yeah,
And what do you give them? Ramen noodles. That's
yeah.
plastic. You know, don't feed your babies ramen noodles. Go get
Plastic
them.
noodles.
Yeah, you giving them plastic. You giving
So,
them.
what's the gold version of ramen noodles?
I give my kids either I do a lentils pasta and I don't make it. I go to the Whole Food store and buy a lentils pasta, or for example, I get an ekron. Ekron is the ancient wheat, has 14 chromosomes, which makes it easy on our digestion. I buy the ekron pasta, um, or I buy the organic 100% whole wheat pasta. You
Yeah,
know,
I've
it's
had that.
just it's just a matter of making the healthier choices for the pasta. Don't just go get the regular, wheat germ or whatever it's called pasta. That's going to be harder for you to digest. Make sure you take your enzyme. Like I said, you can get they have a lentils pasta. They have they've got pasta made out of out of veggies. They got veggie pasta. It's all kind of different pastas out here now. You don't got
So,
to make it. I just suggest maybe going to a Whole Food store and getting some.
a lot of stuff is real expensive though. So, like I said, when you go in there and you look at that stuff, and then you go back to the internet and say, "Hey, I just seen this stuff in this store for $50, but I see it right
Yeah.
here for 15." But then you just said make sure you look at the price because you could be eating plastic. Now I'm confused on if I'm eating plastic or if I'm getting gypped. You see what I'm saying? But as long as you know the root of what you're looking for, what I'm asking is if how I know that root is authentic.
Pull out your handy dandy phone, right? And Google the ingredients on that box. Look up what it is right there at the store.
Yeah.
You ain't got to guess. You can pull your phone out and Google the ingredients, and you will know exactly what's in your products.
As far as CMOS is concerned, what's all the great benefits of CMOS? That's the big thing that's been going on over the last couple of years. A lot of people have been taking CMOS and a balance pill to get you all
Well, sea moss
hormones.
itself, iris moss by itself is 92 trace minerals. When you add your bladderwrack and your burdock root, you get all the 102 trace minerals that feed your cells. Disease starts, like cancer example, starts in the cells. Like I said, it breaks through the cell wall into your nucleus, and now it starts to change DNA, right? So when you take sea moss, you're actually giving your body what it needs to attack that free radical that's trying to get into your cells. You're feeding your actual cells of your body when you take Irish moss.
And where is Irish moss or sea moss actually coming from? And what's the different versions of it? I've seen purple
So
sea
many.
moss and
Yeah.
all these things are different type of sea moss, or is that
You
a
have
real
different
thing
types.
or
This is just algae from the sea, right?
okay.
And you could probably go to your lake and find some algae, right? So the difference in the algae is the type of algae. I personally like. I'm probably like you said. The name some of this stuff is kind of hard to pronounce. Chondrus corpus is I might be saying it wrong, but pretty sure I am saying it wrong. But that particular sea moss to me is one of the best sea moss. It's more of a I'm trying to think how I can put this. I prefer that sea moss because it's a better version of the sea moss. It's from Mexico, most of it. Most of the time, where I get mine from is Mexico, right? And know the origin of where you're buying things from. Like some herbs are better bought from Africa, right? Some herbs are better bought from Croatia. Some herbs are better bought from India, based off the climate in which it grows better. Okay, that's why I said that. So I prefer to do the Irish moss that I get from Mexico because of how it's foraged. Like personally know that my aunt has been there and she's helped forge some of these things, so I know I'm getting pure, Irish sea moss. Corpus. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to say it because I can't say it right. But I know that I'm getting pure sea moss that way. And I'm with you. I kind of question like, why your sea moss beige? Why your sea moss purple? And it's like there's different kinds of sea moss. That's why. There's
Okay.
different kind of algae that grow in the sea. And, you know, most people don't know that they just buy the sea moss because they hear sea moss is good for them.
Yeah, but what is it actually doing for their body? Like, yeah, we hearing it, but taking that pill or taking it raw, what is it actually doing for a person who ain't never took this before, whose body seems to be in horrible shape, and
Well,
they saying, "Man, it's
sometimes,
CMOS, these CMOS, I gotta get it," and then they take it, and then they like, "Okay, so where's the results?" You know,
well, you
so
said a mouthful right there. You said somebody who's already feeling jacked up, whose body is already like you have some under. It's not like that person got some underlying issues, right?
mm-hmm,
So you already got some underlying issues. You need to figure out the root of the problem. CMOS itself, and you don't know what the problem is, might not be what you need.
mm.
You need to get to the root of the problem first. You
So
can't just assume that CMOS gonna help you.
how could someone with 100 and something properties, 102 properties, not benefit me if I'm taking it though?
It should benefit you, but if you already got if the disease itself is already there,
Mm-hmm.
now you're
Yeah.
gonna have to go to some extreme measures. You can't just think you're gonna take CMOS and you still, once again, back to the kitchen.
Right.
Back to the kitchen.
So you saying all the things can be reversed, like cancer and all that
I
stuff can kind
believe
of be
that
reversed.
absolutely. Like for example, my mother had some issues, right? They
Yeah.
wanted to give her chemo, they wanted to do surgery. She said no. She went with an herbalist. Okay. And she began to do her regimen. She juiced for a certain amount of they had her, she juiced for a week while she did the herbs. Then she gradually worked her way back up to whole foods, right? By the time she went back for her skin, guess whose skin was clear?
Yeah.
You have to be obedient. You can't just do one thing and think that that's going to be enough. You got to be willing to make that whole life body sacrifice and change. Once again, the kitchen.
After the kitchen, we gotta get into that gym or some form of exercise as
Oh
well. So
yeah, for sure.
what?
Exercise is important. Vitamin D is important. Like people don't realize how important vitamin D is, especially right now. And they tell everybody to stay in the house. It's like no. Treat yourself as a plant and go get in the sun. Be as a tree.
Why you need so much vitamin D for the body? Is that just because we drawn to sunlight, or is it an energy thing? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it because the actual rays from the sun does something specific to, you know, the skin cells in my body that activates something else?
Honestly, vitamin D. Um, it's ingested through food and supplements. This time of year living in Michigan, we're not getting that much sunlight, right? So it's good to take a vitamin D supplement. But for vitamin D, once it's in the liver, it turns into um calcitidol. I might be saying that wrong too, which is the primary form of vitamin D, which is good for your liver, which helps your kidneys. These are the things that flush your body. These are the things that actually flush out the toxins of your body. So vitamin D is very important. If without vitamin D, you're not going to flush them toxins out.
Right.
So it becomes biologically active. The vitamin D makes it biologically active to get that stuff out of your system. That's why vitamin D is so important. And most people, that was like 80% of people that was diagnosed with COVID had a deficiency of vitamin D.
Mm. So, what do you think the best defense against this COVID situation is?
Oh, I'm going to say for sure you need to exercise. You need to eat healthy. Once again, the kitchen. You need to get in the sun. Okay, don't sit in your house with your windows closed, not taking in no fresh air. You know, get you some immune boosting things like the sea moss, for example, the different herbal teas, elderberry. All of these things will help. Once again, you definitely need vitamin D. Living in Michigan right now, you definitely need a vitamin D supplement for sure.
Yeah. So, what are you?
Water. Most people don't drink enough water. We
Yeah.
are most
Explain
of
that?
our
What's the importance about water? I know we 70% of it, but break that down. Like sometimes you could drink a whole 32-ounce bottle and within 5 minutes feel like you didn't drink nothing. Like, why is the body
because
so dehydrated like that?
because you depleted. If you're not taking in enough water, you're not flushing. Now you just taking CMOS, and now how are you peeing it out? You drinking pop. What's that gonna do? You need that water to help you to flush those things out.
Mm. So in other
It's
words, you need a pure drinking system to help with the herbs in their best form, because
yeah,
it makes
any
no sense to take a herb or drink a tea and then, I don't know, pop a can of Coke.
exactly. Now you just don't put back in all the chemicals that you put. What are you doing? You're basically taking something to flush while putting in more chemicals. Doesn't that make any sense?
No, it doesn't seem to, but it happens a lot because, again, we kind of uneducated on the things that we do, and then even if we feel we are educated, we'll still say, well, it was just that one time, yeah, and it's all good, like, but it really does come down to that discipline, and
Yes, it
it
does.
takes a strong team to build that discipline, because I don't feel one man can do it by themselves. So
Takes a village.
takes a village. So along with this health and living a better lifestyle, what are some of the things that you feel that we can help bring others together to make them more alert, to be more positive and live a better life than the life we've been living, which is pretty much doing whatever we want to do, cussing people out, being angry, always fast to speak, slow to listen, you know, all those type of things. Like, how do we calm down some of those things and really take action and make change into our own lives to actually live that effective way that we should be living?
Accountability.
I say that a lot. I say that a lot. It is accountability, and each human being has to be accountable for their own actions. That's why I say you can never embarrass me, because an embarrassment is something that actually happened that you just felt salty over. If it actually happened,
It
then
happened.
yeah, it happened to me. So yeah, I mean, if I fall out this chair right now, I can't be embarrassed and say, man, it's 20,000 people watching. I fell. I mean, but if I intentionally fell out my seat, nobody would say anything. It's the same thing in middle school and elementary, when people would antagonize you, or and you tried to make the class laugh, so you tripped up yourself and fell and tumbled, and everybody didn't say anything, but you was really walking trying to get somewhere and tripped and fell, and then everybody was like, "Oh, he fell for real. He wasn't," but it was still a fall though. So regardless of how it happened, it still was a fall, but they still laugh differently. So you could treat your body the same way by putting the proper things in your body instead of the nonsense into your body, and stop pump faking yourself, thinking that you actually putting the right thing in, and actually just put the right thing in and be disciplined about it, because it takes a strong it just takes a strong spirited minded person to actually commit themselves to be able to be held accountable for the actions that they take and make. Also, along with that, it also takes a strong person to be able to lead by example, to show a positive example instead of just a example of how to do some things, because there are multiple ways to do things, but there are only a few positive ways that really make change to positively affect you and the ones around you in a higher degree.
I absolutely 100% agree. It's a choice. We wake up and we make one every day if we're blessed to wake up. And there was so much going on in the world today that it's so important to remember and know who you are, um, and to have that accountability and to say, you know what, today's going to be a good day. I don't care what happened. I'm gonna smile through it. I don't care what happened. I'm gonna pray through it. I don't care what happened. You know, the war is already won for me. So it's for me. It's all about. I didn't get into herbs because I'm trying to just I was on a whole different path. I was in school to be a nurse. I wanted to be a part of the other side of it. And it took me to have a child who was affected in a way to open my eyes and to change my brain, right? And to think differently. Um, so it's a choice. Either I could have just said, oh, woe is me and my child is this and it don't matter and let's let him have all the processed foods and all the candy and then wonder why his behavior is out of control. It's a choice. Um, I know a lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people might not. Some people don't have food. Some people can't pay their bills. You know, and when you're down in a funk like that, yeah, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm a believer in the Most High, and like I said, the war has already been won for us. So in that, I can always go and pray and study and come out feeling much better, just because I know that there's a God who sits on high. I know that my God will not put me through anything that I can't bear. I know that I'm here for a reason, and I'm here to encourage other people to get up, fight another day. Let's keep this going. You ain't got to be like that. There's other choices. Did you know you had a choice? What choice do you choose to make? Now let's do that. And that's where that village comes in. You need like-minded people. You need people that's going to encourage you. You know, all that
Right.
negativity, all that you can't do, and why you this. No, that's not what's needed right now. Get people on your team that's like-minded, and that will make all the difference for you, I believe, because if you have somebody holding you accountable for your actions, you're either going to change it or you're going to stay stuck.
That seems to be the two directions: left, right, up, or down. Yes, no. You go do it or
Well,
you not.
right.
You know, that seems to be the end of the rope. So,
And suicide is on high right now. It's just like they want to isolate people. And I'm glad to see that people are starting back to get to living their life, because nobody should live a certain way. So while these things are going on in the world, once again, we are fearfully and we're wonderfully made. And if you just give your body what it needs, it will heal itself. But once again, you have to be determined to do that. You have to have a made up mind to do that. And it's just like obedience to the word. You have to have a made.
uh-oh. Looks like we lost the connection there. Well, that was a good conversation. I hope you guys learned a lot about the herbs and about just living a better lifestyle, man. I want to issue a little challenge. I want to issue a little challenge. Yep. A little health challenge that will get us, just on the right path, man. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and I know one of those resolutions are to, get healthy and lose weight and to be more fit. So over here at the I Just Think Different podcast, man, let's issue or make a little challenge to say, you know, I'm gonna get fit challenge. Let's try to do clean for a week, or just 7 days, or 3 days, or 48 hours. Give yourself 24 hours of just cutting back on, your sugar, your harmful things that you eating, candy bars, the pop, energy drinks, anything like that. Just try to do fruit, vegetables, and water for 24 hours and let me know how that come out, man. Let's have some testimonies and challenges about that. I think that'd be a good thing. We can start there and start 21 off right. You know what I'm saying? Because we all we got. And through this channel here, through this podcast, the I Just Think Different podcast, we definitely can hold each other accountable here because that's what it's all about. We got Tanisha to pop back up in here.
My
Uh,
bad. My phone died. I wasn't even paying attention to my phone was low. Battery was low.
oh yeah, we got you back on the stream now. I was just saying, issuing a challenge for just a better lifestyle in 2021. I said, let's just do at least 24 hours with, you know, water, fruit, and vegetables. Cut
Whole
out the
Foods.
shopping and sugar all the way. I mean, I've did all these things numerous times throughout my life, and I can say that being having a vegan lifestyle was definitely more um, a little bit more energetic lifestyle, I would say.
Mhm.
I will say, while being a vegan or transitioning into a vegan, there were a lot of heavy bad gas days. Sulfur smelling gas, egg smelling gas
Mm.
was just crazy. It was just nonstop all the time. So it's either a lot of crap junk that's in me, or at the time that I was going vegan, I definitely should have been taking some type of detox tea to, help flush out some of that stuff, because I just went straight to get Corella pills, Moringa pills, Spirulina pills, and lion's mane, and some sea moss, and just popping them and throwing them down. Like, okay, cool. I guess I'm not catching anything, can't get anything, but to sit up here and say that, just because I was taking those, I can do a backflip just standing up, you know, ain't it either. Because while not being vegan and still taking those pills, you still eat whatever you want to eat. So you're not, doing things effectively. So from my point of view, in my eyes, I feel like if you're going to do any type of herb intake or any type of healthy lifestyle living, you definitely want to do it 100%. Like, not say you're going to do it, eat healthy today, and then drink a pop tomorrow. Like, you just can't go back and forth like that, because
Waste of
it's too
time.
costly to take all that stuff out
That
of your
is.
system to just put it right back in there. You say you're going to stop smoking cigarettes or drink alcohol or smoking weed for some time to give your lungs a balance and to heal them. Your lungs can heal themselves
You can
for as
detox
long
just
as,
your lungs by yourself. You really can. For all my
yeah.
smokers, please detox your lungs.
Yeah, and what how do you say they should go about doing that?
There's a couple different ways that you can detox your lungs, but a little drink that you can make, and I want to look it up real quick. I don't want to tell you the wrong ingredients, trying to do it from, off memory. But there's a little drink that you can make. Um, you can do 1 liter of water, half a cup of honey, a cup of onion chopped, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Boil all of that for 15 minutes, strain it, and take 2 tablespoons of that twice a day. That is a long cleansing blend. And most of these ingredients that I just named is in your kitchen.
Say that one more time.
1 liter of honey,
1 liter of honey.
a half a, I'm sorry, 1 liter of water.
Okay, 1 liter of water. I said 1 liter of honey. That's pretty
That's
thick.
that's too much. Yeah, 1 liter of water, just a
Yeah.
half a cup of honey, 1 cup of chopped onions, 1 tablespoon of ginger, and 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Boil that for 15 minutes. Strain out the ginger, turmeric, and onion, and then put it in your refrigerator. Take 2 tablespoons twice a day. There you go. You know.
Mm. And what's another way that could clear out your lungs?
Um. For example, you can take your elderberry syrup, right, and you can just put Mulan in it. You can put all these different herbs that's good for your respiratory system. I,
Mm.
I talked about a herb called guaco. You can sip on that guaco, alfalfa, um, corn silk. Now this is what I mean by simple remedies. You wouldn't believe it. Corn hair. Know that all that the corn ear, the hair that's in the corn. You
Hmm.
boil that. That's good for your diabetes. You know what I mean? It's so many simple,
What about
simple
the
remedies.
pineapple like that too, right? Boiling pineapple and boiling the lemon too, right?
Yep,
Bo-
lemon, the
Boiling the
lime.
lemon skin
Yep, you
and
can take.
extracting that.
Yep, you can extract. You can take a um, orange peel, lemon peel, onions, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon. You can boil all of that and just simply, your what is it called? I can't. The word has left me, but your put a towel over your head and just breathe all of that in. These
Yeah.
are just simple remedies. You don't have to break the bank. I'm all about simple. That's what I said. It starts in the kitchen. Most of these things that we can use, we already have them in our kitchen. You just got to
Right.
learn how to use them.
Yeah, that's the truth. And hold each other accountable for our actions, because that seems to slip away.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
you be
that's
on
one of
this
the
kick
most
for
biggest
1 week.
things right there. Is
Yeah,
just
you
not
stay stay at it. Stay consistent.
that's the key.
Yep,
That's
and
the
that's
real key
hard.
to anything,
It's
really.
hard though. Like you said, you need those. It's good to have a good team behind you to help you to be accountable and to stay consistent.
And finding those people seem to be hard too. But see, that's
Woo!
why it goes down a spiritual path. That's why people tell you about the spiritual path most times, because God will send people in your direction, in your path, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you never have to really worry about how things are going to get done, because he'll send somebody your
That's
way
right. That's
when
right.
you tapped into him. And if you don't believe, you know as long as you're still doing the right thing, and then you doing the positive thing for the people around you, and you're not self-centered, things will be handed to you as well. You'll see, because that's a kind-hearted person. You're not trying to get any malice or anybody. So you definitely can see some light too. But it's definitely wise, I would say, to have God in your corner. That's somebody I
Absolutely.
can't turn on and not speak upon, because I just know of the things he's done. However, you have to be so faithful into him to know what his word really means, because our everyday lives, we argue and fuss and fight and contemplate all the time, but his words are very clear. And you treat people like you want to be treated, love your neighbor, seek him, seek yet his kingdom, ask and you shall receive. So, I don't have to be feeling some type of way if, I need something and I don't want to go to you because I feel like you're going to give me a speech or a lecture. Like, I know you, the person who can give me what I need. If not, I'm going to the next. But what I'm not going to do is be scared to ask you. And a lot of people get that. A lot of people don't want to ask for certain things because they don't want to be told later on down the road, hey, man, remember I told you, or remember I gave you, or man, when you came to me, when you was feeling like XYZ. Well, a real God situation ain't going to come out like that.
Right.
It's just going to always be taken care of. You're not even going to have that type of energy involved with it. It's just going to be clean and authentic.
Yeah, and like you said,
But
even if you're not a believer, he has a way of taking that and maybe even possibly, if you open to it, change your whole mind. So
yeah,
keep an open mind, be always, like you said, willing to listen, willing to weigh it, willing to weigh the odds of whatever's being talked about. Always think. That's the problem too. Most people don't think. We're not thinking. We're not thinking for ourselves. So, you know, for sure, I agree with everything you just said. When you got God involved, your understanding is not going to be as everybody else's. We have to study what we believe line by line, precept by precept. So, you know, it's so many different ways to be in good health, and yeah, it is hard to find people who are like-minded, but when you find them, hold on to them, you know encourage them, be the person that you didn't have for somebody else.
yeah. And that's simply just taking on, um, just being empathetic, man. Just being empathetic and having
Sure.
empathy for people and just wanting to help genuinely from the heart.
Right, and if it's genuine, it's not going to come back up later.
No, I
So if
won't.
God in it, it's not going to come back up.
So that's the type of year we're about to have. God willing, we live this year out. God willing, we have the strength to do everything. That's how the year should go. We should have this year and do very great things with changing our lifestyle. This is a year that I'm really dedicated to actually changing my physical look. We're actually doing working out, sit ups and push ups and whatnot. Actually trying to do it for real,
Yeah.
because you could get a little 7 day spurt and then it'll go away. But it's just, as long as you consistent with doing push ups and sit ups alone every day, changes your whole body, because it's just calisthenics, man. It's just,
Building muscle, building core. Yeah.
yeah, it's just yourself. So if you follow that, you definitely could prepare yourself to different heights and better heights. And everybody just want to get better. And
Right.
that's what we want to do.
You mentioned gas and different things. I didn't mention anything about pro and prebiotics. That's important too with with that digestive enzyme
Yeah.
to get rid of that gas and all those gut issues. You need pro and prebiotic, which is going to help your gut flora. That's important.
And what are those? What type of herbs are those?
Um, Pre and probiotics. I like to use turkey tail. That's a mushroom.
Oh yeah.
Um, so that's one I use. You know what's good? Else is good. Kitchen people. Cabbage,
Boil it,
sauerkraut,
grilled.
sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is an excellent probiotic.
Mm,
Turkey tail is your prebiotic. So if you take turkey tail and that sauerkraut, boom, you covered.
mm. Taking both in combination.
Yep. Take that turkey tail if you want to peel it. If you can eat the mushroom. You
I got
can
the pill. Seen the pill. I want to get some turkey tail pills.
yep, turkey
Now,
tail. Yep. And add cabbage is so healthy for you. Oh my goodness. And it's a crises food,
mm.
meaning you can store it. So get some cabbage in your life. Get some sauerkraut in your
Another
life.
thing,
Turkey tail.
how long can a tea last? Because I got some tea I've been having for a long
It should
time.
it
I
should
don't know
have a
if it's
date on it. It
stale
should
or
have
not.
an
Oh, so it
expiration
can't
date.
spoil.
It's not gonna spoil. It depending on the tea. Like mushrooms, it will get a little bit, some mold on it. Most of it do is mold. But the problem with that is if it's out of date, the potency of the potency diminishes.
Gonna be a little weak.
Yeah, it won't be as strong as it would have been using it by the date. But those two things right there, turkey tail and sauerkraut,
Okay.
cabbage. That'll take care of that gas and all that other stuff you got going on. Get your gut together.
Well, I'll definitely take that into account for sure. For here in the near future.
Right, get on
So,
it.
is there anything else that you would like to add or like to say to the people? Once again, you're listening to the I Just Think Different podcast, and I'm your host, James. And we're sitting here with Tanisha Reed, and she's talking about health, man, how we can live a better, healthier lifestyle and do better things in life with a better energy. Because it's 2021, man. Who want to stay stuck in 2020 or stay stuck in yesterday? All we got is today, and all you can do is right now. All we got is just 24 hours, and we can't worry about tomorrow.
That's
So
right.
all we trying to do is make the change today. So Tanisha's gonna give you some words of encouragement to how to better your lifestyle, and then I'm a praying we go get out of here.
All right, just make a choice today. If you're gonna do better, and just stick to it. I encourage you to get you some. If you're a believer, always be encouraged by the word. Study time and prayer time is important. Morning, noon, and evening. That right there is where I draw a lot of my strength, just in my prayer corner. On top of having a vegan/vegetarian lifestyle, and just surround yourself with people who gonna love on you. Um, and be that person that you want for yourself, for somebody else, for your neighbor. It feels so good to help somebody else. Just, if you see somebody in the store can't pay for their food, just pay for their food. Shovel their snow, help them, whatever you can do to help. You'd be surprised how much better you feel when you just reach out and help your fellow brethren. you know um and if you are someone who is struggling with a disease or anything like that, I encourage you to look at the natural path. Don't just go straight for, the chemicals by itself. Be someone who does your due diligence. Be someone who says, you know what, I'm going to check out, I'm going to get a second opinion. I'm going to go to a naturopath doctor. I'm going to find me a clinician herbalist. They're out there that not only can know about herbs, but they know exactly how to get you a nutrition plan. They know exactly what herbs to give you that will help you heal without all the extra toxins. Just it's all about choices, and just try to make better choices and surround yourself with like-minded people.
Well, that's some good advice and some good information. I appreciate you coming on the I Just
Thank you for
Think Different
having me.
podcast. Definitely. And I'm gonna take a prayer and then we're gonna get out of here. God, thank you for allowing us to come together and have this podcast. I just ask that you allow your will to be done over my life, over Tanisha's life, over anyone who has been listening to this podcast and has been influenced by the different shows and different type of material that I'm trying to present to them. I ask that you would just guide us and lay your will upon us and guide us with your knowledge and your wisdom. I ask that you would just forgive us for all of our sins because they already been taken care of. That price has already been paid. So I ask that you would just show us dreams of interpretations and heal our bodies for those who are having pains. Strengthen those minds of those people who are weak. Strengthen those hearts of those who struggle.
Mm.
I ask that you would just touch the lives of everyone in a positive manner, which you can only do to prepare them, to let them know that, you know, it's not over yet. You have the final say. And I just ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me, brother.
I thank you for coming on.
Yes,
The
sir.
I Just Think Different podcast, and we out here to the next one.
Have a good night.
All right. Have a better one.